Hey everyone, we'd love to hear from you. What tool review would you like us to create an in-depth analysis video on? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and we will get started on making the most requested one. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we upload new topic podcasts every day.
Okay, so have you ever had that feeling where you're just like overwhelmed by the sheer volume of research out there?
Yeah, too.
Like you're drowning in a sea of papers.
Oh, absolutely.
Trying to find, just that one little nugget,
Oh, yeah.
that one key piece of information.
Uh-huh.
Well, today on the deep dive, we're going to be looking at a tool that promises to make that whole process a lot less daunting. It's an AI-powered research assistant
Okay,
called Research Rabbit.
I like the name.
So imagine being able to not just search for papers,
Yeah.
but to see how they all connect,
Right.
to discover related work almost intuitively.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
That's the big idea behind Research Rabbit.
Interesting.
And we've been taking a look at a really insightful review
Okay.
that kind of break down how it works and, does it really live up to all the hype?
The hype is real for sure.
So this is for anyone who's ever wrestled with a thesis,
Yep.
or maybe you're trying to wrap your head around a new field for a presentation, or even if you're just driven by that desire to learn more.
Right.
This deep dive is all about understanding if Research Rabbit could be like the smart shortcut you've been waiting for.
I mean, who wouldn't want a shortcut
Yeah.
when it comes to research?
Our mission today is pretty straightforward.
Right.
We want to give you a clear understanding of what this tool can do
Right.
and help you decide if it deserves a spot in your research toolkit.
Okay, so should we just dive right in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about what Research Rabbit is.
Yeah, what is this thing?
So at its core, it's an AI-driven tool,
Okay.
and it's designed to really change how we find and organize academic information.
Mhm.
It's not just a database.
Right.
It uses artificial intelligence
Okay.
to give you personalized recommendations,
Uh-huh.
and then also presents you with these like visual maps
Okay.
to help you navigate all those scholarly articles.
Interesting.
So think of it as moving beyond just like basic keyword searches.
Right.
And going into a more dynamic and interconnected way of exploring knowledge.
So the goal here isn't just to find like one paper on a very specific topic.
Right.
It's more about understanding the bigger picture, right?
Yeah, it's about understanding the landscape of the research around a topic.
The research landscape, yeah.
Exactly, so that you can see how different ideas connect and all of that.
Yeah, and the idea is that it makes your research smarter
Okay.
and a lot more efficient.
Right, which is what we all want.
It saves you time and, boosts your productivity
Right.
by bringing up relevant connections and insights
Uh-huh.
that you might miss if you were just doing traditional searches.
Traditional methods.
Exactly. The review we looked at actually suggests that it's like a big step forward in making research a lot more intuitive.
A big step forward. That's a pretty bold statement.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so let's break it down. Like, how does this rabbit actually help you?
Right.
What are the key features that, our listeners should know about?
So one of the most basic things it does is,
Provide access to both its tracks.
Okay.
And then when it's available, the full text of academic papers.
So you can actually read the whole thing
You got it.
right there in the platform.
Exactly. So you can do,
That's huge.
more thorough literature reviews.
Yeah, that's a huge pain point, right?
Totally.
All that clicking around different portals just to see if a paper's even worth reading.
Oh, yeah. I've spent hours doing that.
What else?
What else? So another really great feature is it integrates with Zotero.
Oh, nice.
So for those who are using
That's
Zotero,
a lot of our listeners.
yeah, a lot of academics are using Zotero to manage their citations.
Yeah.
Research Rabbit connects right in
Okay.
and makes referencing so much easier.
I mean, that's got to be a game changer for anyone who's ever had to format a bibliography.
It's a lifesaver, honestly.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so that's managing what you already have.
Right.
What about finding new research?
Okay, yeah.
How does the AI actually work to recommend papers that are relevant to you?
That's where it gets really interesting. So they have what they call personalized recommendations.
Okay.
And what it does is it learns from your activity on the platform. So the papers that you click on,
Right.
collections that you're building,
Uh-huh.
and it uses that data to suggest other papers that might be useful to you.
So it's like having an AI study buddy
Yeah, kind of.
that's learning right alongside you.
Yeah.
And it's like anticipating your needs.
Exactly. And it's pointing you towards new discoveries.
So it's not just about reacting to your searches. It's
Yeah.
about understanding where your research is going.
Exactly.
Okay, I like
And
that.
it goes even further
Okay.
with what you call interactive visualizations.
Okay.
So it actually creates these visual maps.
Wait, hold on. Visual maps?
Yeah.
Of research?
Yes, so it shows the connections between
Okay, that sounds really cool.
different authors,
Okay.
different papers, different research topics.
So you can like visualize the connections between things.
Exactly. So instead of just seeing a list of search results,
Right.
you're actually getting this visual representation
Okay.
of how all these different pieces fit together.
So you can see like who the key thinkers are in a field,
Yeah.
how their work is connected and all of that.
And you can discover relationships
Mhm.
and identify connections that you might not see otherwise.
That's so cool.
It really is like seeing the big picture of the research landscape.
Yeah, and you might be able to identify gaps in the research
Right.
or see unexpected links between different fields.
Exactly.
Okay, so we got personalized recommendations.
Yes.
We got visual maps showing the connections between things.
Uh-huh.
What else?
They also have collaboration tools.
Okay.
So you can actually share your collections
Oh, cool.
and the insights you found with other researchers.
Okay, so you can like work on projects together.
Exactly. And you can even just share interesting stuff you found with colleagues.
Yeah, get feedback and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so those are the main features. What
Right.
makes it really stand out?
Okay, good question.
What are the things that set it apart from all the other research tools out there?
So the review that we looked at really highlighted a few things.
Uh-huh.
One of them is this concept of Spotify for papers.
Okay, now that I got to hear more about.
So you know how Spotify learns what music you like
Yeah,
and recommends new stuff based on what you've listened to?
yeah.
Research Rabbit does the same thing with papers.
Uh-huh.
As you build up your collections,
Uh-huh.
the AI starts to understand what you're interested in,
Right.
and it gives you more and more tailored recommendations.
I mean, that's amazing.
Right.
No more just getting random papers.
Exactly. It's personalized discovery.
Personalized research. Yeah, I love that.
Another great thing
Okay.
is that they promise non-spammy alerts.
Oh, thank goodness.
So you know how annoying it is to get all those irrelevant emails?
Yes, from all those different databases.
From every database you've ever signed up for.
Exact.
ResearchRabbit is supposed to only send your updates
Okay.
that are actually relevant to your collections.
Fewer emails.
Yeah, I'm sold.
Let's talk about those visual maps again.
Yeah, those are cool.
They really give you a good overview of how research is all connected in a way that you just can't get from like a list of search results. It's about seeing the big picture.
Yeah, you're seeing the whole web of ideas, not just like individual points.
Right, and how ideas build on each other.
Exactly.
Okay, what else stood out in the review?
Well, there's the smart recommendations.
Oh, right,
which we
right.
talked about a little bit before.
The personalized ones, yeah.
But basically, it's like having a colleague
Okay.
who knows your work really well and is constantly saying, hey,
Yeah.
you should check out this paper.
Right, like it's tailored to you.
Exactly. And then the last thing the review talked about was the interface.
Okay.
So they designed it to be really easy to use.
Right.
It has this column-based layout, so you can easily switch between different views
Right.
without getting lost.
Yeah, because that's so frustrating when you're
It is.
like clicking around and you lose your place.
It is. So they really thought about making it user-friendly.
Okay, so it sounds like ResearchRabbit has some pretty big advantages.
It does.
But, every tool has its limitations.
Yeah, of course.
What were some of the potential downsides?
Right. So the review did point out a few things.
Okay.
One of them is that the integration
Okay.
with some of those big research databases
Right.
is still kind of limited. So depending on your field,
Yeah.
you might need to use other platforms along with ResearchRabbit.
So you might not be able to completely ditch everything else.
Probably not.
Okay, wow.
There's probably going to be a bit of a learning curve.
Right.
It's a powerful tool, so it takes a little bit of time
To
to learn how to use all the features.
That's fair. I mean, most new software is like that.
Yeah, and also how effective it is.
Okay.
Depends on how much you use it.
Okay.
The more you engage with a platform,
Right.
the better the AI gets to know.
And the better the recommendations are.
Exactly. It's like a relationship.
Got to put in the time.
Got to put in the effort.
Okay.
They also said that it's mainly focused on academic research.
Okay.
So if you're doing like market research
Right.
or looking at patents,
Uh-huh.
it might not be as useful.
So very specific use case.
Yeah. And then the last thing is you need a good internet connection.
Well, yeah, that's most things these days.
It's true.
But important to keep in mind.
Yeah. If you're working somewhere with unreliable internet,
Okay.
it could be a problem.
So some things to consider, but overall, it sounds pretty promising,
Yeah, I think so.
especially for academics.
Definitely.
Now, the big question,
What's it going to cost?
how much is this going to set me back?
This is the best part.
Okay.
It's completely free.
Free?
Free for researchers.
No way.
Yes, their mission is to make research accessible.
I mean, that's amazing.
Everyone-
Especially for students, people early in their careers.
Anyone who doesn't have a ton of funding.
Yeah.
And they've said that the core features will always be free.
Wow, that's a big commitment.
It is.
So they're really dedicated to supporting the academic community.
They are.
Okay, so who is this really for?
Right.
Who should be running out to sign up for ResearchRabbit?
So the review said it's best for people who are doing a lot of academic research.
Okay.
So thesis writers, people
Thesis.
writing research papers, scientists,
Okay.
anyone who spends a lot of time reading and analyzing academic literature.
So if you're living in the world of journals and articles,
Yeah.
this is for you.
It's designed to make your life easier.
Streamline the whole process.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say you're convinced.
Right.
You want to try it out.
How do you get started?
What are the first steps?
So first you go to the ResearchRabbit website
Okay.
and create an account.
Which is free.
It's free. And then you set up what they call collections.
Collection.
Yeah, it's basically like folders
Okay.
to organize your research.
Makes sense.
So you could have a collection for each project you're working on.
Okay. And how do you get the papers into these collections?
You can search for papers directly on ResearchRabbit.
Okay.
Or you can import them from other tools you might be using.
Like Zotero?
Like Zotero, Mendeley, EndNote.
Okay.
You just export them as a BibTeX or RS file.
And these are like standard file format.
Yeah, they're used for bibliographic information.
So you can move your citations between tools.
Exactly. And then you just drag and drop that file
Okay.
into your collection on ResearchRabbit.
Sounds easy enough.
And then that's when the AI kicks in. It starts
yeah.
recommending similar papers.
Based on what's in your collection.
Exactly.
And then you can see all those connections in the visual maps.
Yes, and there are these network graphs and timelines
Cool.
that show you how ideas have developed over time.
I mean, it's like a whole new way to explore research.
It is, and you can really see those relationships.
Yeah, between different authors and topics.
Exactly.
And you can share your collections with collaborators. So it's a really collaborative tool.
It is.
Okay, so big picture, what did the review conclude?
They gave ResearchRabbit 4 out of 5 stars.
4 out of 5, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and they said it's one of the best AI tools out there.
For academic research.
Yeah, for both academic and professional research. They really recommended it for anyone who wants to be more efficient.
Right.
And find new insights.
So it sounds like ResearchRabbit really could be a game changer.
I think so.
For academics.
Yeah, for sure.
So to sum it all up,
Okay.
ResearchRabbit is a really powerful tool, and it's free.
That's key.
Which is amazing.
It is.
And it's designed to make academic research a lot easier.
It uses AI to give you personalized recommendations.
Right.
And it has those really cool visual maps.
Yeah, the maps are really cool.
To help you understand how everything is connected.
And all of this could save you a ton of time.
It could.
And help you find connection that you might not have seen otherwise.
So it's worth considering.
Definitely.
Whether this tool could be helpful in your own work.
Yeah, especially if you're constantly dealing with academic papers.
Yeah, if you're doing literature reviews, writing papers.
Is that in a thesis?
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
And there's no risk.
Exactly.
So you might as well try it.
Why not?
I think the biggest takeaway for me
Okay.
is that AI is changing how we do research.
It really is.
And tools like ResearchRabbit are just the beginning.
It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
What's coming next?
Right, like how will AI shape the future of research?
What new possibilities will open up?
It's exciting to think about.
It is.
I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yeah, I think so too.
So for everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into ResearchRabbit.
And happy researching.